Inferior.
Productive.
Connected.
Empowered.
Boring.
Intimidated.
Old.
United.
Addicted.
Pressured.
So we're just on our way to Harrogate to interview Josh and Alex from the band PM to discuss their social media, Twitter and Instagram, how they work with brands such as STA Travel on social media and how they influence their fans.
Hello, I'm Alex.
I'm Josh.
And we are 2 of 5 of
PM.
What does it really mean to be a social media influencer and what are the pressures? We asked Josh and Alex to find out.
We're watching, but only for good reason. It's not like this. It doesn't disrupt our lives or anything to that extent yet. I don't think it will either. We just got to be careful because we are in a slight position where people are watching what we do. So it's just got to be the right thing that they watch as opposed to the silly stuff. With like mine and Josh's like travel stuff, we do have professionals watching us. So we have to just make sure everything's professional because we are being watched. Yeah, in a certain extent, but we also don't want that to conflict with our character because that's kind of what sells us. So
Compared to kind of like really high-end professional production company stuff, we are seen still as quite young kids, and we get that. And people who we've like partnered into good relationships with, they've said just keep the image. Don't go to a meeting in a suit. Just keep you, because that's what's going to differentiate you from the other guys. And we've just kept that as much as we can. And I guess our personality comes across in our content as well.
But you feel the pressure.
We feel pressure because
we
want to be different as well. And I guess when you look at ours, it looks pretty same because we're always in summer trunks and a hot beach. But we are always going, oh, I'd like to do a little bit different here. But we know sometimes that might work.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of companies grow just from endorsing influencers. And it really, really works.
Yeah, we've seen clothing companies especially grow from like a year ago working with us, and then they've got like 5k following, and now they're endorsing Alexis Friend and JL Prez, and they're getting like, they're selling out straight away, and they will be making a fortune.
So Elle and I are in Riverside, one of the coolest bars in Sheffield, and we've been brainstorming all morning on who we can contact, what we can do, and
Then we was thinking, wait a minute, our own Daniel is in fact a blogger himself.
I've been doing it since I was 17 and I'm now 23.
And when we're interviewing external bloggers, it's like, are they telling us the truth? Are we getting the full negative aspects of it? But I feel like our Daniel will give us the whole lowdown.
I'm ready to bear it all.
Ready for some grilling?
Let's do it.
I wrote for a magazine in Liverpool, like as a one-off when I was in sixth form. Like I wrote 2 columns for them and then they just stopped replying to me. So I wrote for an online magazine for teenagers for a couple of months, and then I started my own blog, wrote lifestyle pieces, celebrity interviews, etc. And ever since then I've just continued my own blog, done brand endorsements, product placements, written for ITV and other production companies. I've battled an eating disorder and I often write about that for my own website and for news outlets to try and help other people who are suffering with eating disorders or know someone who is, to try and help them and seek help, because it's not always easy to ask for help. So if I help one person, that's my goal achieved. You see in magazines pictures of the perfect image of, like, if you're a woman, you need to look like a size 0. You see it on the front page, like, for example, this week, there's been front pages of the likes of Cheryl Cole putting a tiny bit of weight on, and she's been criticised for that, which isn't okay, and men have got to have the perfect muscles, perfect abs and be in the gym every day, which shouldn't be front page of every news outlet out there. It's just not acceptable in 2018. There's a YouTuber who touched a light, basically. He bathed and bleached for 24 hours and I replied to him saying it's not acceptable. Why are you influencing a young audience? And his fans replied to me saying, you're taking this way too far, it's too deep what you've said. And I was like, it's not. Your idol, if you want to call him that, is bathing in bleach. He's promoting that it's okay to throw bleach over people. He was pouring bleach on himself saying it's fine, putting his face in it. how is that message okay? And his fans sending me messages saying, oh, you're pathetic, blah, blah, blah. It's just ridiculous.
Shopping. Let's head to the bleach aisle. Today I'm actually going to be bathing in bleach for 24 hours. Oh no, it's so thick. Why would I get the thick? I feel like there's no bleach in there. Oh my shit. Oh my freaking god. I put my hand in and my hand is peeling. This video idea has just gone so extreme. The fact there's skin coming off my hand. I'm not going to take my socks off just because I don't want my feet to burn. So yeah, let's get it. Oh shit. Okay, so I'm in the bath now and my sister's come in and I literally have burn marks all over me. Bro, this is not... What the shit? I need to get out of this bath, right? I'm gonna put my face in the bleach and see what happens. Ow, my eyes! Get me a towel! Ow! Ow! Ow, I'm burning so much, it's actually freaking hurting me a bit.
Although many would believe that Carmi's YouTube video would receive negative comments online, many of his fans took to Twitter to support him and claim that this was a genius idea, some even claiming that this should have won Creator of the Year at Summer in the City YouTube convention.
Bath yourself in bleach and then having to waste the NHS's time to go and deal with that, like, it is absolutely crazy. And what kind of example is that setting for the younger generation, really? That if you do that on YouTube, you're going to get loads of views and things, and it's not really like that.
In a recent survey carried out by the Royal Society for Public Health, 14 to 25-year-olds were asked how they felt that social media was affecting their health and well-being. And the results suggested that there was an increase in anxiety and loneliness and depression in this age group, and also that body confidence issues were becoming more prevalent. So kids are missing out on key social skills these days, whereas in the past, children and young adults and teenagers would interact with each other face to face or on the phone, so they're using a lot of verbal clues and things to interact. Nowadays it's all through the medium of social media, texting, Snapchat, that kind of thing, and it's placing these interactions in a non-verbal disabled context. So all your kind of non-verbal interactions, such as your body language, facial expressions, hand gestures, or even the tone of one's voice, aren't coming across over a text or a tweet. So when we create or maintain online friendships in the virtual world, we aren't seeing the impact that our interactions are having on the other person. Essentially, it's a lot easier to hide behind a screen, and you're not seeing the effects of what you're saying to the other person. And this could potentially lead to an entire generation of anxious adults who don't know how to interact socially in the real world. However, it's also important to remember that there are positives that we can take from social media. For example, young people who struggle with social anxiety issues or find it hard for whatever reason to interact with others on a face-to-face basis can communicate through social media. In addition, young people who are members of perhaps marginalised social groups such as the LGBT community can connect with people with a similar viewpoint and find support online. It's also a very important platform for those suffering with mental health. There's a lot of support on the internet and on social media for young people with those issues.
We're meeting up with Tamsin Lena today, who is a Sheffield blogger and YouTuber. She's just come back from America actually, and she's going to break all the myths about social media and talk to us about mental health. So let's go meet her. Looks like she's here already. Tamsin, hi, you alright? Nice to meet you.
Me too. I just create content about anything that appeals to me. So when people ask if I have a genre or a niche, I guess I just say life, because I kind of cover most ground with things. Back in the day when I first started watching YouTube, I was really into Zoella and people like that, really big huge beauty and lifestyle influences. Now I've kind of begun to do it myself. I guess I kind of have found people who are similar to me in different niches and things, but when I first started watching YouTube, I wasn't really that familiar with kind of what was going on, so I was just watching the people that like everybody was talking about. So I guess in that sense, that's where I kind of got most of like my information from. If I wanted to buy a product, I'd buy it off like whatever they were recommending one day. So yeah, it just kind of depended on that. The main thing for me, which I was talking about with a friend the other day, is it was more kind of people my age that I kind of struggled with, because I didn't mind watching people older than me because I saw them as something that I could aspire to be like. And I thought, oh, in the future I would like to do that. I'd like to be able to afford that. But when I was watching people maybe my own age, I was a bit like, oh, I felt a bit kind of less compared to them. So I think in that way that definitely kind of did make me think again about my life choices and where I was going and the decisions that I was making. A little bit more strict, but I always find that I work best with the brands that kind of just say, you do what you like, and then if it works for us, or we might have some tweaks, but just do what you like and then bring that back to us. I'd rather work for a brand who are like that than somebody who sets out like a million points that you have to stick to, because then it just doesn't feel authentic to me. So many people are aspiring to be YouTubers nowadays, or influencers, or social media people, or whatever you want to call it. So many kids, you'll ask them what they want to be when they grow up. When I was younger, I used to be like a teacher or a police officer or something like that. Now you'll ask a kid and they'll say a YouTuber. So I think when people are creating content that's kind of not the best in terms of, you know, having a negative impact on somebody, kids are going to think that that's the way to go about becoming like a viral sensation, or you have to do something crazy to be able to be a YouTuber. So they're going to be creating videos where they're like bathing in bleach, or where they're cementing their head in a box or something like that. They're going to end up in a situation that's probably not safe and probably not going to make them be a YouTuber at the end of the day. So I think in that sense it does have quite a negative impact on children, especially because there's so many people watching YouTube nowadays, and you don't even realise sometimes that kids as young as like 5, 6 are watching it. So for them to have a positive role model that's just doing positive things and things that are not going to harm themselves is so important. And I think a lot of influencers don't realise that, and the pressure is quite immense, because if you constantly think like young kids are watching me and you have to be like perfect all of the time, then that can get a little bit too much. But I just think there's a line, and you have to kind of be conscious of that line and not like make yourself fake, but then also just don't put it too far. I think the main one is just that like all that goes into it is kind of, oh, you film a video, you upload it, and you write a blog post and you upload it, and yeah, that is the most part. Like I think some people might over exaggerate it a little bit, but to be honest, yes, there is filming the videos and editing them and whatever you see, but then there's also the millions of emails you get every day, there's the contracts that you have to sign, or like invoices that you have to chase, companies that you have to talk to, photo shoots that you have to do, and like, yeah, they're not all negative things, but there's just, I think, a lot more to it. And it's kind of the same with any occupation or any job. You'll talk to somebody and they'll be, oh, there's loads more to my job than you'd think. And that's just the same with blogging and YouTubing. Even though it just looks like what it is on the surface, there is a lot more underneath. My blog is like an outlet. It's kind of a way for me to get my thoughts out there. Sometimes I don't always publish them. Like, I've kind of done that thing in the past where you might like write a note or write a letter to somebody but never actually give it to them, and that's kind of what I think blogging is sometimes, just less personal. I might like write something that I'm feeling, and it really feels like I've got it all out there, and then if it's suitable for a blog post, then I'll obviously put it on my blog. And it's like a great kind of release. Through YouTube I discovered the whole blogging world and thought I'd give it a little go, because it's a different platform from videoing yourself. It's more like writing and creative. In the old days, I'll call them, it used to be Zoella, but obviously as YouTube has grown as a platform, people have changed and obviously their lifestyles have changed. So for me, I no longer watch her videos as much because she's got a lot of money, she's living a life that I can't really relate to, and I kind of like to watch videos that I can relate to. So at the minute I watch a lot of Brogan Tate. So she is a small YouTuber, like on the uprise, she's doing really well for herself, but she's still very like down to earth, and her life's kind of relatable. You know, she lives in a normal house, she does normal tasks that we'd do, so that's kind of the videos that I like to watch. It's so frustrating, like sometimes you upload a video and at the end of the day I do it as a hobby, it's something that I love, and when you do see larger YouTubers put up videos, and there is a lot of them that do it, and they are out of touch, and at the end of the day I think a YouTube video, it's going to offend someone.
someone's always going to take offence, but when it is a large majority of people that find it offensive, you've got to kind of be sensitive to that and expect that. At the end of the day, not everyone's going to love you. You can't win that, and I think it's just a bit frustrating, especially silly videos, when there's been things that would put other people's health at risk that people have done. You know, it's a lot of younger people that watch it and they're role models to them people, and that is not setting a good example at all. YouTube at the minute, I haven't been uploading because with every platform I think it has the positives and the negatives, and I'm finding it quite a negative place at the minute. People obviously have an opinion, and I totally stand by voicing your opinion and standing for who you are, and I think if they have them opinions on what happened, totally say it. As long as you're not being like racist or offensive to someone else, I think you should have your own voice. I definitely think buying followers is fraud, personally. I mean, it's a big thing at the minute in the blogging community that is trying to like get sorted, but I think it is quite disappointing for smaller people like me. And you know, we have the whole debate on whether you can class yourself as an influencer, what's a blogger, what's a YouTuber, and for me it is someone that wants to do blogging or YouTube. Like, numbers shouldn't be an issue, but it is frustrating when you're putting a lot of hard work and effort in and you see the same people that are like buying the followers and it's known, and they're the ones that are getting brand deals. And like, I'm all for supporting people, like brilliant if they can get the brand they want and the brand deals, but when it's done and you know it's not proper, it is a little frustrating kind of thing. And at the end of the day, I'll always support people and their brand deals and like and comment on posts and stuff, because if I was in their shoes, that's what I want, the support. But it's just frustrating, I think, really.
Hey, I really hate to say this. I think there's someone hanging right there. I'm not even kidding. Do you see it? So much. I'm already getting flagged for demonetization.
No.
Dude, me
It's
smiling,
such a funny
laughing
experience, isn't it?
does not. I have one piece of advice. Okay, listen closely. Don't go over there. Definitely don't go over there.
You have a responsibility, especially people like, you know, it's just some of those, you know, influencers that do have a young following as well. You just got to be careful, because you just need to influence in the right direction. You're in a place of power, so use it well. That's all I'd say.
But when they get to a level, I feel like power goes down quite a lot.
Well, they just want to do anything to get a view,
and sometimes doing the wrong thing is the way of getting the views for them.
Yeah, but
as everyone's seen.
But the influencer thing goes out the window when you make a mistake like that, because you're not influencing in a good way anymore.
Yeah, and then you lose your brand deals, and I guess like Logan's, I think his pay's been cut by half or something by YouTube or something, which is still an awful lot of money, but obviously it's half of that. But like this weather thing, but I also see the other side of things, where Zoella's got such a big following, like she can charge that much for things. I know it's not right, but compared to someone else who's got a smaller following, she has got, like, she can do that, because unfortunately the brand will make sales through her, even though it's not good for people buying it, I think it's too much, but she's got the power.
True.